Hi, I hope everyone is doing well. So, I'm just coming on because it is the full moon today in Leo. Depending on where you are, I know in some places it'll be the 17th tomorrow. And I think it was about 2 weeks ago, I also did a kind of another video on like the energy updates and energy ascension at the moment. And I just thought I'm going to come on again and give you guys a bit of an update because there's so much going on energetically. And especially today, I feel like the energy is really strong and heavy. And some of that will be with it being the full moon. Obviously, like just like the moon, it gets bigger and bigger in the sky and expands. So do our feelings and emotions at times like this. So that there is a lot that we're going to feel, and a lot of things that are going to get brought up for us to kind of deal with. And it's intense, and it's a lot for us to go through. And with all this new energy that's on Earth as well, like I said in previous videos, we don't get a trial run, we don't get a manual, a guide of how to get through it. We're literally just thrown into the deep end to have to deal with it and navigate our way through. And, we are all unique, we are all different, we have all been brought up differently, and that's what makes us all beautiful. But that being said, like that's why some people will feel things more in a physical way, others maybe more so in an emotional or psychological way. There is no right or wrong way. And, just because some people might experience something, that doesn't mean that you have to experience it like that or you have to feel it like that. That's the beauty in all of us being unique and different and how we feel things differently. Now, I did mention before that I had been experiencing like a lot of stomach problems and like to do with bloating and what I've been eating, and I already have a lot of sensitivities anyway. And I feel like I've kind of had quite a change. I've been reducing like the size of like the food I would eat. I've been changing some of the foods I would eat because my body just can't process certain things anymore, which is quite annoying because I love food. But then also there'd be times when I would probably overeat or eat certain foods that I knew were going to irritate me. And yeah, we've all got different levels of sensitivity, but mine were pretty extreme. So that being said, I've managed to reduce a lot of what I've been eating now, and I feel less bloated. But then the stress of been like, oh my God, what can I eat? What do I feel like eating? What should I eat? That's been stressing me out. So I'm not gonna lie, like that's caused quite a bit of stress because it's quite a worry, oh, can I eat this or am I gonna react badly? And then also I feel like I've lost my appetite a lot. And I've felt quite nauseous, like, and I don't even know what I've wanted to eat. And I had been getting these really bad headaches, especially around my third eye area. Luckily, they've calmed down a bit now this week, but they were getting to the point where it was like I could barely do anything. And I don't know about anyone else, but like this extreme fatigue and exhaustion is just like next level. And then obviously, like being in the UK, it's like we wake up, it's grey. We go to bed, it's grey. And it's like there's only so much more flipping grey I can take because it's driving me insane, like not having even any sunlight or just, even like a blue sky or a little bit of sunshine. I'm not even saying it has to be warm, but and then it's cold all the time, and it's that in itself is quite, depressing anyway. And I feel like that holds me back a lot because it's like then you don't have the motivation to really get up or go out or do anything. But then I do think we need to be kinder to ourselves and just be more compassionate, that even just getting up every day is an achievement. And even if it's just something small, like making sure we've drank enough or, ate some nourishing food, or even if you've managed to have a bath or a shower, like don't be hard on yourself, because the modern world will have you feeling like you've got to be achieving this, you've got to be doing this every day, or if people are judging you for not. And it's like, there is no right or wrong. We are all different. And I just think if you just get through every day, like that's a big enough achievement. So be kind to yourself, because if we put even more pressure on ourselves, it's like that there's only so much we can take being human. And I know we're in this like universal year of 6 energy. So all again, the focus like on our third eye, foresight, insight, mental health, the sixth sense. And I feel like that energy is also really intense and quite difficult to deal with. And I feel like a lot of people, including myself, as usual, I say it as usual, but there's like a lot of mental health struggles and difficulties going on at the minute. And that's tough. That's difficult energy to deal with. And especially, I think, when people can feel so alone, like, they might be going through their awakenings, or they might be going through rebirths, or they might just be coming to terms with, oh God, like everything that's going on around them or in the world. And that is a lot to deal with. And it's a shame that, we don't have more support in this modern world for it. And and I just think, yeah, I know there are certain support systems, but I don't feel that they're good enough. And I don't feel like people really and truly, sometimes I think, unless they've been through stuff themselves, they don't, not saying everyone, but it's difficult energy. Like, I just don't think people are so prepared for it. And I also think this modern way of living where everything is through a screen or a phone, like, that is not good for anybody's mental health. And that actually just alienates us even more and makes people feel even more alone. And I'm guilty of that at times. Like, I'll sit and watch something, maybe on Netflix, or I'll sit and watch someone on YouTube, and it's like, oh, I'm watching someone else's life through a screen instead of actually being outside and living my own life, and that just can really get you down and feeling really upset. Especially I've found over this last week, I've been doing a lot of crying. Like, I've had a lot of emotion coming up. I can randomly start having flashbacks of like conversations or things that might have happened years ago, and it's like, whoa, why is that coming up so strong? Like, where did that even appear from? And that like negative energy can take over, and it can feel like a lot. And sometimes I just find myself sat there being like, no, stop, leave me alone. Because it's like, it's not that I'm saying I don't want to deal with it, but like, I can then express my emotion, but then it's like, you have to be very careful, because like, someone like me, I find like my moods can go up and down quite easily. Or sometimes they can just be really flat. And when I'm processing something that's taking me back to like negative thoughts and emotions, it's like, before you know it, then your mind can start coming up with loads of negativity and like loads of negative thoughts and emotions and feelings coming up. And it's like, I don't want to feel all of those, because I know that they're not necessarily my energy to be feeling. So it's just tough. And then with like all this crying that I was doing, it's like my skin has started breaking out around my eyes in like these really red, sore, tender, almost like scratches, and like where I've then rubbed my skin from my eyes crying, because my skin is so sensitive, and that's causing me a lot of pain and discomfort. So I'm just trying to let that breathe and put some natural oils on. But then also I know that is like a sensitivity to, some of this, like a lot of this radiation and everything. So I try not to spend time, like I'm not really ever on my phone unless I respond to a message. They go off at night. Like, the only things I will really do is come on and sometimes upload some stuff to YouTube, or do a little bit of journaling maybe, or watch the odd video. But again, that's like really tough. So like, my skin is changing, and there's so much of us that changes, like emotionally, physically, mentally, that we're going through. And like I say, we've never experienced these energies on earth before. Like, we've had no trials, we've had no test runs. And that is why I do want to come on regularly and share, because I feel like sometimes people can feel like they're so alone with what they're going through, but it's to reassure people that you're not. And like, sometimes we hear all these different things online of like what people will be feeling or what the energy is, and then it can also feel really like, I've sometimes find like a bit triggering or patronizing when they're like, oh, this is amazing energy, like step into your powers and all this. And it's like, well, hold on, if I'm just about flipping waking up to get through the day, but then other people are thinking like they're feeling it so amazingly. So it's within each of us, like we all have like a duality, don't we? Positive and negative sides. That's what makes us like human. That's what makes us unique. And some of us deal with things more easily than others. Some of us don't. And also, depending on what our role or our purpose is, or our mission in this lifetime, like, we're all gonna have to go through things differently. And I personally kind of believe those of us that do have to struggle more, and feel things way more intensely and have like a harder journey, because we are here to master more lessons, and we have to master our own experiences. And in healing ourselves, that then enables us to then go on and help us heal others. If we didn't have to go through so much, like, we wouldn't be as like kind or compassionate or have so much to give. So I just think, even when we're maybe feeling like we're at our rock bottom, or we're struggling to even find any joy or happiness in anything, just take every day as it comes, day by day, step by step, and know that there's no right or wrong way to feel these things. And also not to compare yourself to other people or what other people are going through. And remember, like, life isn't a race, it's an experience. So just because other people might be feeling something different or seem to be going through things much more easily, like, we all have different lessons that we are here to learn in this lifetime. So please don't ever compare yourself to anybody else, because you are all unique, and we all have to go through things differently, experience things differently, and feel things differently. And another thing I always talk about is like this extreme fatigue and tiredness that I feel as well. And I always try and explain it to people in a sense is, sometimes we can't see what's happening necessarily always on a spiritual like level or a spiritual realm. And then that has to then balance out into our physical bodies. So sometimes what might be done in other dimensions then has to filter through into our physical dimension. So again, like, just being patient with yourself. And if you feel that exhausted or fatigued, like, listen to your body and rest where you have to, because that's your body's way of telling you it needs rest for a reason. Just because maybe it doesn't make sense to you now, you might look back on a year or two and think, well, that made sense why I need all this rest now, because they know what's to come. Many of us, we can predict, or we can see into the future of things, but sometimes it comes to yourself and your own energy, that can be harder to see. And also, I like to empower people, to encourage people to focus on creating the lives and the way that they want to live. Focus on creating that, because we all have, to a certain degree, like, power and energy, and it depends where we focus that. So if a certain way of life you don't like, or you don't want to be part of, or that isn't for you, then focus your energy, instead of on like the negativity that's around, focus your energy onto the kind of life and lifestyle you want to create for yourself, and how that looks for you. And that may be different to everybody else's, but that doesn't matter, because it's unique to you. So please just be really gentle with yourselves at the moment, and just remember, like, there will be times where you will feel things more physically, and then there may be times where you feel things in more of an emotional or psychological way, and that is okay. And just be kind and gentle with yourself. And sometimes it can get that bad and that heavy that we feel like, oh my God, like, sometimes I think to myself, am I secretly dying and I just don't know? I laugh when I say that, but honestly, that is how bad it can feel sometimes. It's like, oh my God, am I on my way out? But again, this is just like ways to describe it, isn't it? It's like rebirths, and we're battling not just our own energy, but those of us who are more sensitive, we feel like the collective energy. And at the moment, I just feel like that energy is really like, it's just got a really heavy, dense, kind of negative feel to it. And then I know that then affects me, like, on a personal level too. So I'm just trying to take a little bit of time out for myself at the minute, and just be kind. And I think if anyone else is feeling similar, do the same, where you can take that time out for yourself and do whatever suits you. If it's, you want to try something new, go somewhere new, just have a break from work or a break from people in your life, then do that, because time alone, like, solitude is so powerful sometimes. And I came to the I came basically to the acceptance that in this lifetime, I think one of mine is that I'm going to have to spend a lot more time alone and in solitude, because that's what really allows me to go deep and deep within myself, on a very deep journey. Whereas if I was surrounded by friends all the time, or family, or I had kids, like, I wouldn't have this quiet time and this energy to really go and truly go within myself. So, you know, to those of you that are on your own too going through this, I do feel for you. And I just want you to know as well that you're not alone. And I think where you can, if you can try and like build yourself up a bit of a support system, or find other individuals who are like-minded to you, I think that will be really helpful and beneficial. So, you know, you could put that onto your intention list, maybe the kind of people that you want to bring into your life. And, you know, if you don't see them appear straight away, just trust that maybe, you know, having some alone time, that maybe there's reasons for it, or maybe there's things you need to bring up or look at healing. But always just keep your faith and trust in like the higher power, or however you want to refer to it, and keep in faith that like there is more than what meets the eye, and there is more to this existence than many realize. And sometimes that just gives you that little bit of hope and faith to get through each day, even though, you know, like I say, motivation and energy's been at a real all-time low at the minute. So I am going to come on and try and do more content and share more with you all, and do more with my writing and my journaling, as I say. But sometimes it's powerful when we say it out loud, because then we're like, right, we're actually going to commit to it. And that gives like a focus and a motivation. So please don't be hard on yourselves. Please feel free as well to share with how this energy might be feeling for you, and how you're coping or getting through it, because I really find that's helpful when we share with others. So you know, I look forward to, if anyone wants to leave any comments about that, or even you can drop me an email, I will always respond. But thank you so much for listening, and I hope it's been helpful. And those of you that are subscribed, you will always get like new updates when I release new videos. If you're not and you want to be notified of the new videos that come out, then you can click on the subscribe button at the end of the video too. But thank you so much for listening. Take care.